I wasn't planning on stopping, just wanted to get home, kick off my shoes, and sink into the couch. It had been one of those days, the kind that leaves your spine aching and or brain humming from back-to-back meetings, and the boss who thinks urgent means now. My wife, Mia, had texted earlier saying she'd be working late. Something about end-of-quarter reports and her boss breathing down her neck. Totally believable. Mia was reliable, steady. She never gave me a reason to doubt her. That's why I didn't flinch when I drove past our usual turnoff and pulled into the tiny plaza a few blocks from our neighborhood. Just a craving for noodles from that little Thai place tucked beside the high-end Italian place we couldn't usually afford. As I rolled into a spot, I noticed a car in the adjoining lot. A silver sedan. Same model as Mia's. Same tiny dent above the back tire from that time someone keyed her at the supermarket. Coincidence, right? I almost laughed it off until I saw the scarf. That ridiculous, flowery scarf she insisted on hanging from her rearview mirror. The one her sister gave her years ago. The one that somehow smelled like summer no matter the season. I blinked, then blinked again. There had to be 10 cars just like hers within a mile radius. Still, I got out, crossed into the Italian place's lot like I was on autopilot. My heart wasn't racing. There was no suspicion, no jealousy, just curiosity. It was probably someone else. A twin car, a twin scarf. That's what I told myself. But up close, there was no denying it. Same plates, same little crack in the left taillight. Mia's car, parked outside a restaurant she'd once said was too pretentious to justify unless it was someone's birthday. I hesitated. Maybe she got off work early and treated herself. Maybe she was meeting someone for a work dinner. A client, a team lead. Could be anything. Still, I walked in. The hostess greeted me with a bright smile. Table 4. I waved her off gently. Actually, I think I'm meeting someone. Just looking for them first. She nodded, unfazed, and stepped aside. My eyes swept the room. Candlelight flickered off glasses of wine. Soft music mingled with quiet laughter. Every table felt a little too intimate. And then I saw her. Mia, my wife, sitting in a corner booth, laughing. Across from her was a man I didn't recognize. Slightly older, neatly dressed. He leaned in as she smiled wide, her hand resting on the table between them. She looked happy. Not work meeting happy. Not end of a long day happy. Something else. I stood there, frozen for a moment. Still not angry, not even hurt yet. Just off balance, like the floor had shifted and I was the only one who noticed. Then I took a breath, straightened my shirt, and walked toward them. She didn't see me until I was just a few steps from their table. Mia's smile faltered, just slightly. Her eyes widened, but only for a flicker of a second. Then she straightened up and put on the kind of smile that looked like it belonged on someone else's face. Polite, controlled. Hey, she said. Her voice was light, casual, like I'd just stumbled into her at the grocery store. What are you doing here? I ignored the question. My eyes flicked to the man across from her. He was mid-40s, salt-tan pepper beard, sharp blazer, watch that probably cost more than my monthly paycheck. He looked like someone used to owning the room and at that moment, like someone who didn't know whether to extend his hand or bolt for the exit. I was picking up food next door, I said evenly, looking back at Mia. Didn't know you were done with work. She let out a small, breathy laugh. Yeah, we wrapped up early, so I thought I'd grab a bite. We? I asked, tone still measured. She gestured to the man. Oh, sorry. This is Julian. He's on my team, just joined the firm a few months ago. We've been collaborating on the new audit project. Julian gave a half-hearted smile and a nod. Nice to meet you. I nodded back, not returning the smile. My eyes dropped to the table. Her water glass had lipstick on the rim. Their plates were half finished. A bottle of wine sat between them, nearly empty. Mia noticed me noticing. Her hands shifted slightly under the table settle, but telling. She'd had them resting there openly when I first walked in. Now they were gone, out of sight. I didn't ask anything else. Not here. Not in front of Julian. Not in this too quiet corner of a too expensive restaurant where couples lean close and waiters floated like ghosts. I'll let you get back to it, I said finally. Just surprised to see you. That's all. Mia opened her mouth, maybe to explain more. But I didn't wait. I turned and walked out, my jaw tight. My stomach didn't know if it was empty or just full of something sour. Back in my car, I picked up the Thai food like it was a normal night. Drove around to the opposite end of the shared lot and parked where I could still see her car. I told myself I wasn't spying, but the truth was I couldn't bring myself to go home just yet. The takeout container sat on my lap and touched. Steam fogged the windshield while I watched the door of that restaurant like it owed me an explanation. 10 minutes passed. Then 15. Finally, the door opened. Mia stepped out first, her arms folded across her chest like she was bracing for wind. Julian followed, walking too close, too casual for a man who'd supposedly just had dinner with a co-worker's wife. They paused on the sidewalk. She said something I couldn't hear. He smiled genuinely and then leaned in. Not a hug, just a kiss, right on her cheek. Friendly? Maybe. But it was the kind of kiss that lingered a breath too long. The kind that comes with familiarity. The kind that suggested mine wasn't the only dinner he'd shared with her recently. I opened my door so fast the overhead light blinked on. She turned. So did he. Mia, I called out, louder than I meant to. She froze. Julian looked like a deer caught mid-crosswalk. Don't, I warned him as he took a step forward. I'm not here to talk to you. He backed away, muttering something, then turned and practically jogged to his car. Coward. Mia stayed rooted. Her hands were at her sides now, fingers curled like she was holding on to invisible lies. What the hell was that? I asked, walking up. A kiss. It wasn't. She started, then stopped. It wasn't what you think. I watched him kiss you. On the cheek. She snapped, voice cracking. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't. He does that to everyone. To everyone? I repeated. Because he didn't look like a guy saying goodbye to just anyone. She swallowed. Hard. It's nothing. He's just friendly. That's his personality. I stared at her, silent, watching the way her body shifted, defensive, guarded, not guilty, not exactly, but nervous, too careful. You scared him, she added quietly. You didn't have to do that. I blinked. I scared him. The laugh that escaped me wasn't funny. It was bitter, short, hollow. I'm going home, I said. You should too. Wait, can we just talk about this like adults? We will, I said, turning away. But not here, and not while your friend is watching from his car, pretending not to. She looked behind her. Julian's car idled at the edge of the lot, lights off. When she turned back, I was already walking away. Something in me had shifted. And I think she knew it. The house was too quiet when we got back. The kids were still at Mia's parents' for the weekend, which should have felt like a relief, but right now, it only made the silence feel sharper, like the walls were listening. I tossed my keys into the bowl by the door. She followed me in, but kept her distance. We hadn't said a word on the drive home. In the kitchen, I leaned against the counter, arms crossed. She hovered near the island, like a guest in her own house. You've got some explaining to do, I said finally, my voice low, calm, but barely. She nodded. I know. Well, it really wasn't anything. We wrapped up early. He offered to grab dinner and talk through some of the report deadlines. That's all. That place, that table in the corner, I asked, felt a little too cozy for report deadlines. She shook her head. It's close to the office. He made the reservation without telling me. I raised an eyebrow. And you couldn't say no? I didn't think it was a big deal, she said, exasperated. I didn't know I had to run every dinner meeting by you. You don't, I replied, unless you start lying about working late and end up having wine with some guy I've never heard of. Her shoulders sank. That hit. I didn't lie, she said quietly. I thought we'd be working late. Then it changed. And the kiss? She flinched, just slightly. He's European, she offered, as if that explained everything. I didn't laugh, didn't say a word. Mason, she said, stepping closer. I swear, there's nothing going on. No affair, no cheating. I've never touched him, never even considered it. I was just trying to be professional. I looked at her, and I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. But belief isn't just something you snap back into place like a broken chair leg. You hurt me, I said, and I don't know if I can undo that. Her eyes filled with tears. Please don't say that. I'm not walking out, I added. But you need to understand, I'm not the same person I was yesterday. Something cracked tonight. She nodded slowly, wiping her cheek. I'll fix it, she whispered. Whatever it takes. We'll see, I said. But I'm not offering blind trust anymore. You'll have to earn it. And with that, I left the room. Because even though I loved her, I loved myself enough to step back.